Tom, you mentioned how you've spent the bulk of your career working on Star Tours,
Yes.
really. Now, what I was curious is that we do get these updates every once in a while, additions being made to Star Tours, the adventures continue. How do you guys at Imagineering and in tandem with Lucasfilm decide this is the right moment to add a new destination or a new holographic message to Star Tours?
We basically say this is the way. Well, it actually comes from the audience. It comes from fans. You know, characters get added and they bubble up as favorites.
Yeah.
You know, go back a couple of years pre-Mando Grogu.
Yes.
You know, who knew that Grogu would become this phenomenon? So some of it is like these characters are emerging and becoming fan favorites. And Star Tours is, a greatest hit show. It is a show that should have your favorite characters, your favorite places from Star Wars in this kind of mashup, world
Right.
that we've created. So that part was kind of easy in a way of just saying the sequence thing is hard. What sequence do? We wanted to add a sequence in addition to the transmissions, and it's like, well, from which series and what do we look at? And I think when I read the script for episode 3 and saw this Purrgil, I was like, Purrgils, space whales.
Yeah.
Wow. Flying, up in the atmosphere. It's like, all right, that's really unique. And that'll give us a sequence up in the air. It'll give us a sequence that could be a wonder moment, where we come out of light speed and instead of immediately being in battle, just have this scene where you think it's scary, we're in the dark clouds, and you see this thing like, uh-oh, and then you come and go, no, it's a wonderful thing. It's not a scary thing. And 3PO getting to suddenly turn into a tour guide. Oh, these are the Purrgil, they're the legendary space whales. It's like, we get to let him play tour guide for a moment, which is what Star Tours is supposed to be. And it's like, and they're so serene, and then, in comes the battle. So it let it mix up the tone, get some comedy in there, get some new moves. And so I ultimately said, that's going to be great, let's do it.
The Purrgil are such a wow moment in Ahsoka, which is obviously on the small screen. Here you've got a bigger screen, you've got the motion simulator aspect.
Yeah.
What techniques are you using that differ from that sort of filmmaking to what you guys do on this attraction to give you that same feeling that we saw when we watched Ahsoka?
Yeah, well, obviously we're not recreating exactly what you see in the series.
Yeah.
We're making it work for Star Tours. One thing that was really interesting is, we do it in 3D. And the moment we went from 2D to 3D and watching the footage up at ILM, suddenly the scale of the Purrgil increased dramatically, and it was such a wow. We all went, whoa. Now you really feel how big they are. And then it's also like, what can we do with them? Once we figure out a move, it's like, okay, we've got our barrel, what can we do with the Purrgil that's different than what they did in the show that's really just for us? And one was, what I call like the ski slalom through the tentacles. Yeah. We haven't done that move before. That's really fun. It's a fun move in there. And then the other one, of feeling like you're getting sucked into the mouth of one. So it's looking for what things will give you cool moves, give you humor, and give you action that will make people laugh and smile. And again, we're not doing exactly what you got in the show. We're doing the Star Tours version of that. What's the fun when you're in Disneyland or a park? What's the fun that you want to have going to those worlds in the short time we have?
Well, lastly, can you speak to bringing some of these cast members back from the media that we've loved in the movies and the TV shows? How enthusiastic are they to be a part of a Disney parks attraction?
They love it. Rosario, huge Disney fan. So they love it. It's a chance for them to become a part of something that lives and lives and lives and lives and lives. We obviously do it in a pretty quick amount of time because they're short sequences. But they love it. They love the characters they create, and they do love how they get translated into this other medium. I know Rosario was so fun about, she loved the fact that Ahsoka says, Star Tours, been looking for you. That they're in this world of Star Tours, it's very natural for them to acknowledge that. Now, if you really stop and go back and go, wait a minute, she knows about this tour coming and whatever.
Right.
But in the context of Disney Park, it totally is natural.
Yeah.
And it makes it really fun. She's talking to us. That's different than a movie. They're not talking to us. They're talking to each other. In Star Tours, she's aware that we're here.
Yeah.
And 3PO's aware that there's the spy. It's all connected, and so you're part of the story, which is the fun of it. You know, you're in the world, you're part of an adventure, and you're not a passive, you know, just watching something happen. You're being called on to be part of the adventure, which I think amps it up.
I thought it was really, really cool, a lot of fun. Thank you so much for your
Pleasure.
time.
Glad you enjoyed it.